Hello and welcome guys. This is going to be the most important section where we are going to discuss about the factory setting parameters.
To every marine engineer out there, from junior engineer to chief engineer and electrical officer, we all know that earning respect on ship is very important. We all know fast promotions are very important, and we all know that इज्जत कमानी है, promotion चाहिए तो काम आना चाहिए, तो जूते पड़ते हैं, गालियां पड़ती हैं, and for that you need a good mentor. Sometimes we keep finding those mentors on board ship, अगर नहीं मिल रहे तो MNDFLIX है ना, Merchant Navy Decoded has launched a subscription model where you can find more than 30 plus courses with respect to your rank, helping you earn respect on ship. Please enroll on these free trial videos, watch these videos as per rank, and then decide whether you want to invest or not, with a very good flexible payment plan as well. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata.
So factory set parameters are the ones which decide as to what all factors are judging the purifier and what all the values of the purifier settings are going to be. So why these factory set parameters are important? Because they are set by the maker, on the basis of which your process parameters or the purifier will be functioning. Process parameters will be decided and the purifier will be functioning. Okay, how to reach these factory set parameters? Let me show it to you through a video presentation. So we can see in this video, as the operator is entering the process parameters, first thing when you press enter, and then you will enter the process parameters PR12, then you go press plus and you enter and go to the end of, say, the process parameters. So 19, 20, 21, 40, end of the process parameters, then and IO, and then you press plus and enter together. When you enter, then you enter to the installation parameters, then you again go plus, and then you come to factory. You can see this. Okay, then you go to factory, and then as the factory will show, then you enter, press enter. Okay, so plus enter will give you install, and then you go to plus, and then you go to factory. Okay, so this will be factory settings. So this first factory setting will be conditioning water, so that we have to discuss. Okay, so FA3 here is the first factory setting, which is about the conditioning water volume to be fed after discharge. So depending on the purifier model, as it is asking you to see the table on page 22, let me show you the table. The page 22 table is, because time and again it will ask us to refer the page table 22. So this is the table that the maker is asking to refer the parameters depending on this. So as we are discussing S851 model, that is why I have taken the values for the S51 model depending on the table type and the separator type. So as per the separator, you can also see what separator that you have and what kind of values the factory set values will be have, and downwards you have timer setting values also for the set purifier. Okay, so as these values I have taken them and have mentioned here, so that ready reference can be taken. Okay, now we go to our factory settings. Okay, so the FA3 factory setting here. So for this purifier model, this is 0.7. So from 0.1 to 100 liters around water can be sent. 0.7 is the factory set value for the conditioning water that is fed after discharge. So conditioning water, we all know, here it is SV10 is the conditioning water that is sending water into the purifier after the discharge, just like the sealing water. Okay, so here the value is 0.7 liters. Okay, second is FA6. FA6 is the PT4 increase or decrease. So PT4 is what? PT4 is the pressure in the clean oil outlet, pressure sensor in the clean oil outlet side. Okay, what are all these timers? There are timers TI59, TI64, TI70, 71 and 82. Okay, TI59 is basically for the water flow rate calibration. Water flow rate calibration has to be done when the conditioning water is sent for the first time after the first discharge. Water flow rate calibration, how much water is required in the purifier. Then that is the timer. Timer 64 is for the oil feed on. Oil feed on. So this is basically talking about a process where the bowl is being filled initially. So after the bowl has been filled with this conditioning water, and at the outlet of the PT4 there has to be a pressure increase or reduce. So minimum pressure in the outlet has to be 0.2. It has to increase more than this 0.2 bar pressure. So this process here, it is about the oil feed, then oil feed is off, then 71 is oil displacement before dislodge. So and 82 is about the heater off. So basically here we are talking about the initial discharge process. So the conditioning water has to go inside the purifier and fill the bowl, and the minimum pressure has to be maintained as to 0.2 bar. Then F10 is 8.3 into 10 raised to the power 3, that is 8300 rpm for this purifier type. So basically that is the rpm sensor that measures high speed or low speed. Minimum rpm has to be 8300 rpm. So below this rpm there will be an alarm, that low alarm. So low speed and maximum speed is, high speed is 8300 for this separator type. So maximum speed is 8300 rpm and minimum speed is 7400 rpm. So purifier has to work between these two rpm. So above this you will have a high speed alarm, below this you will have a low speed alarm, below 7400 you will have a low speed alarm. Okay, FA12 is speed decrease during discharge. So as we are aware that when the purifier bowl opens, the sludge is being discharged out, due to which a sudden load reduction takes place in the bowl, due to which the vertical shaft assembly which was taking up the bowl load suddenly experiences a lesser load, due to which the bed motor is continuously rotating at the same trying to rotate the bowl at the same rpm, but since there is a load reduction, so there will be a speed reduction in the shaft. So the speed reduction has to be 300. In this case cannot be more than this or less than this. If there is lesser speed reduction, that means the sludge discharge has not taken place appropriately. If there is more speed reduction, that means there is some leakage or some other issue. So speed reduction during discharge has to be, this is FA12. Okay, FA16, factory settings 16 is about the vibration, shutdown limit for the separator spindle amplitude. Say due to vibration, if the separator is moving more than separator spindle is moving more than 0.5 mm, that means there is a heavy vibration and then alarm will be given. So that is the value for setting ki 0.5 mm is the maximum the separator spindle can move, that is the drive unit, the shaft can move. Vibration alarm pre-warning is given at 0.3 mm. Okay, 0.5 is the maximum, it is shutdown will take place, purifier will shut down at 0.5. 0.3 it will give an alarm, 0.3 mm vibration. 0.3 is too much, okay, 0.3 is too much vibration, so 0.3 will give alarm. Okay, vibration sensor adjustment 0 point. 0 point is basically here if we put 1.5 plus minus Fa18 is 0.5, so it is 1 to 2 mm. So vibration sensor adjustment has to be made from so basically what we are doing, we are adjusting the position of the vibration sensor in the range of 1 mm to 2 mm from the shaft. Vibration sensor adjustment point, basically from 1 mm, it should be within the range of 1 mm to 2 mm. Now the most important factory setting is the Fa20 value, and this is what we have to understand here. This is the LCAP trigger factor. What is the LCAP trigger factor? Okay, so in case of fuel oils, in the process parameter, if it's PR2 is fuel oil and PR2 is lube oil in the process parameter, then the values will change. What it is? Picofarads. We can see it is ranging from 0.01 to 10 picofarads. Picofarads is a measure of capacitance. As we are aware that water transducer is basically a capacitor. Okay, is basically a capacitor. Okay, so it will measure the value in picofarads. Okay, so basically LCAP trigger factor is the value of difference. So if it is 3, that means the say if there is water flowing in the capacitor, so water has got a different dielectric constant and oil has got a different dielectric constant. If the oil is mixed with water, the picofarad value will change accordingly. So maybe if say initial value was say 70 picofarads and water has come, so the value becomes 73 picofarads. So when this value difference becomes 70 to 73, this delta value becomes 3, then that will be the LCAP trigger factor. This LCAP trigger factor, why it is important? Because this trigger factor will give signal. The MT50 water transducer will give signal to the EPC50 that it is now the time to open the drain valve V5, right? So at this time the drain valve will open when the LCAP trigger factor becomes 3. This is the amplification factor for the transducer signal, so that the trigger range is achieved. Okay, basically this is the trigger factor, is the difference in picofarads in sensitivity when the water has entered into the oil line, and due to this factor, this trigger factor, the EPC50 will open the drain valve. I hope you can understand, guys. Okay, now comes FA21. FA21 is basically the trigger limit for HFO purifier. It can be set from 0 to 100%. Basically when we are talking trigger limit, what we are doing, we are increasing or reducing the sensitivity. Okay, key at how much time this value should be reaching. So as we are seeing that 70 to 73, the delta is in the difference is 3. So this 3 picofarad is 100% when the sensitivity. So when you are seeing MT50 is say 50%, so that means it is 1.5 picofarad. When MT50 is 70%, then it is in the range between 0 to 3 picofarad. So when so basically what it is happening, when the drain valve is opening, the water is going out, so in the clean oil outlet water content is reducing, the picofarad value is reducing. So when you are seeing the display of your purifier, only 2 things are being shown. So whenever you are going in the round, 2 things are shown. One side, the value what you are seeing here is the LCAP trigger factor. Okay, that is the picofarad value. It can be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. That is actually showing the range of the LCAP trigger factor from 0 to say, if the setting is 3, then 3. when it reaches 3, at that time the water valve, drain valve will open, V5 will open. Okay guys, so basically we have to keep an eye on that, how much water content is coming in the water transducer. And the second, the value is showing in the discharge interval, ki after how much time that discharge will take place. So two values are shown. So here this is, that value is the Alcap trigger factor, which is basically the difference in picofarad value when water has entered into the clean oil outlet line. And it is, the sensitivity can be varied from 0 to 250%. So basically for HFO purifier, FA21 is set, factory setting 21 is set at say 100% is equal to 3 picofarad. So when I am talking about 100%, I am saying that the value has come to 3 picofarad. So similarly, like FA22, when we are talking about the trigger limit means basically after this value the trigger factor is this, and after this value the drain valve will open. So for, and why it is 3 for the fuel oil purifier and 0.6 for the lube oil purifier picofarad difference, because in the lube oil purifier there has no chance of water to come in. Okay, so basically lube oil has to be contaminated with sludge. There is very rare chance that water will come in. So the sensitivity has been made so slim, so that in lube oil purifier there is no chance of water to go inside. I mean, in the, no chance of water to go out from the clean oil outlet side. So the picofarad value has been reduced to 0.6. So what happens is, say ki 70 picofarad is for the clean oil, and as soon as you go to 70.6 picofarad in the capacitance, thus at this level of slight difference your trigger limit will come and the drain valve will open. That means water has entered. So this is very slightly that is measuring the amount of water in the oil in case of a lube oil purifier. In HFO purifier it is giving a higher range because there is a chance that more amount of water is about to enter. So the sensitivity has been reduced in this case. Okay, so it is like 3 picofarad difference will come, that time the valve will open. Okay, that is the sensitivity of the capacitor, that is the MT50, okay, water transducer. Okay, now comes FA23. FA23 is the alarm limit for high water transducer value. So if the value has, so that there has to be maximum range, say 70 picofarad is the minimum value for which the flow is sensed in the capacitor. Below 70 you will not find anything in the capacitor, either it is dry or it is air is present in the capacitor. So there has to be maximum limit. So maximum is, the capacitor is working from 70 picofarad to 120 picofarad. So at 120 picofarad, if the value is exceeding 120 picofarad, that means excessive limit of water is present. So alarm is given for the high water transducer value. So either your transducer is faulty or there is a very high amount of water present, and at that time the complete discharge can take place. So 120 if it is fuel oil, 90 if it is trunk piston lube oil. Trunk piston lube oil means generator engine lube oil, and 83 if it is crosshead engine lube oil. So it is main engine lube oil purifier, it is 83. In trunk piston lube oil it is 90, and for the fuel oil purifier it is 120. Okay, alarm limit value, because in the trunk piston purifier there is a chance for water to come in from somewhere, seep in, and in the crosshead lube oil it is only the sludge, less chance of water to come. Okay, so minimum chance for the water to come. Okay, so this is what it is about the Alcap trigger factor and the other values. Let me show it through a presentation of how much is the condition, these the values in the actual settings. You can see oil FS6 is 0.2, FA10 high speed is this much, FA12 is 300, FA20 LCAP trigger factor. So LCAP trigger factor FA20 is 3 in the actual model also. Okay, trigger limit HFO is 100%. Trigger limit lube oil DO factor FA22 is also 100%. Okay, high transducer value FA23 is here 110, and actual in our manual it is 120 picofarad. Okay, low transducer limit is 1, FA24 is 70 picofarad. Okay, here also it is FA low transducer limit is also 70 picofarad. Alarm limit for the low water transducer value 70 picofarad. So below 70 picofarad, if it is showing below 70 picofarad, that means there is nothing in the line in the PT4 in the MT50. Either the line is dry, or the alarm is false, or the sensor is dirty, or sensor is faulty. Okay, so until this we will discuss in this section. From FA25 to further we will continue in the next lecture.